Amazon. Millions of Americans stay at home or rely on Amazon.
Amazon has transformed its operations in response to COVID-19 to protect employees and keep packages flowing.
Amazon has transformed its operations in response to COVID-19 to protect employees and keep packages flowing.
The company is keeping employees safe and healthy.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy.
It has spent $800 million on increased wages and overtime pay during the pandemic.
It has spent $800 million on increased wages and overtime pay during the pandemic.
Amazon says it has spent $800 million on increased wages and overtime pay during the pandemic.
Resigning the job this year. Say it isn't so. Is it true?
I don't know when I'm leaving. This is an honor and a privilege, and I love working for President Biden.
It's a Luciferian conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues. Not because they have had a change of heart, but because they will already have rotted out from the inside. The chips we've implanted in the majority of the population under the guise of vaccinations allow us to watch the watchers. Now, how could anyone say the pact was a bad thing?
Bioweapon engineering requires finesse to manipulate both the pathogen and the population in a way that accomplishes the desired effect. It necessitates extensive lab work, followed by a series of controlled study groups. One such example of a localized control group was the 1976 experiment in a Philadelphia hotel. We were able to successfully introduce the pathogen, which became commonly known as Legionnaire's disease. It became the model for more complex experiments released into larger population groups, such as HIV and the SARS virus. Ebola has been the most virulent of our population-tested experiments, and the most difficult one to keep in check. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as the World Health Organization, act as our preliminary survey team, gathering statistics and data of the virulence of the pathogens we have released. They also monitor established outbreak parameters, so the pathogens remain under our direction. The end result of these controlled experiments was to be the resurgence of bubonic plague and smallpox to create a pandemic, allowing the government to control the surviving population with considerable ease.
Parallel. It's going to have to take a hard look at where they want to be at this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
In response to a recent statement from Senator Sinema's office indicating she would not be in favor of changing the rules and dealing with these two pieces of legislation.
It's going to be a first in the nation step. You're going to hear from our health commissioner in a moment, and he will be issuing a commissioner's order for all private sector employers in New York City. It is time. Look, this is how we put health and safety first, by ensuring that there is a vaccine mandate that reaches everyone universally in the private sector. A lot of folks in the private sector have said to me they believe in vaccination, but they're not quite sure how they can do it themselves. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to do this so that every employer is on a level playing field. One universal standard starting December 27th. We're going to be working with businesses all over the city, and that's almost 200,000 businesses that are not already covered by the Key to NYC guidelines right now. We're going to be working with the business community. We're going to be talking to them in the next days on how to put together the right plan to implement this. The specific guidance, the specific rules will come out on December 15th. We want to have a collaborative process. We want to make this work. And let's be clear, we have a great example with the Key to NYC. All those restaurants, all those fitness clubs, all those entertainment facilities, movie theaters, all sorts of places, they've been working with us. They gave us good advice up front. We came up with rules that work. The vast majority have implemented those rules really effectively. And I constantly hear from people that they know if they go into a place under Keto NYC, they're safe. And they feel comfortable. They're going to enjoy themselves. They feel comfortable in those settings because they know everyone's vaccinated. And there was a lot of concern up front. Would it work? Would it be difficult? You know what? Businesses have adapted and handled it really, really well. And we know that will happen again.
The New York City mayor just today says he's requiring everybody. He means if they had a public sector vaccine mandate in place, but he says now private employers by the middle of December need to start getting everybody vaccinated. Listen to the mayor.
Will be implementing a requirement for proof of COVID-19 vaccination for certain indoor spaces, which we're calling our Be Together initiative. Be Together will require proof of vaccination to enter indoor dining. Well, three categories, just so you can keep the count. First, indoor dining, including bars and restaurants. Secondly, indoor fitness venues, such as gyms. And third, indoor entertainment, recreational, and event venues, such as theater shows or sports games. Starting January 15th, customers or patrons ages 12 and up and employees at these locations will be required to show proof that they've received at least one dose of the vaccine, and this will phase into requiring 2 doses on February 15th. We're also setting dates for children to be vaccinated to enter these spaces beginning in March.
For that nice tight fit. We've got doing Q-tip testing so that we normalize it and sort of demystify that whole thing, where I might put a mask on and be the person in the, the outfit they're going to see it there and go, okay, and tilt your head and here's what, oh, it's all done, you're very good, just to flow with it. And don't forget our little kids who aren't wearing masks are now going to see not only their teachers and adults, they're maybe seeing siblings and other school children. So even though they're not wearing them, it is important to normalize them and even get your little child friendly kind of, and this one has a nice little, I was going to call it a pipe cleaner, but one of those little bendy bits at the top to encourage that kind of, and we squeeze the top for that nice tight fit. We've got doing Q-tip testing so that we normalize.
Todos los murcianos, porque esto sin el apoyo de...
Es un esfuerzo, cuidado, como te digo.
רגע, נלחש לו באוזניה שאולי התחיל לדבר. משהו קרה. נלחש לו באוזניה שאולי התחיל לדבר.
Allow me personal questions. I know that you're not particularly fond of answering personal questions, but you and your wife, Dr. Tuichi, you play such a central role in the development of the virus, I have heard that you yourself have not taken the vaccine yet. Why not?
So I am legally not allowed to take the vaccine at the moment. We of course consider to make that possible. It is more important for us that our co-workers and partners get vaccinated. So our goal is to produce more than 1.3 billion doses in 2021, and that can only be done if we can really continue to work 24/7 without any interruption. And we need to ensure that that we protect the co-workers and our team members from COVID-19 infection, because that would mean interruption and delay and waste of vaccine doses, and therefore we consider to make an extra batch independent from the European contingent available to collaboration partners who are supporting us and to our team members.
But I understand why are you not legally allowed to take the vaccine?
Because you know that there is a priority. The vaccine is not allowed to be taken outside of this priority list. And what is also important, we were even not allowed to participate in clinical trials because per law it is not possible to include company people into such trials, which is really fine. But now we have to deal with the more important challenge that we need to ensure functionality of our whole company, of our teams, and therefore this is needed, and I think we will find a legal and fair solution for that.
Announcing changes to our vaccination program, specifically in relation to third doses. A third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine will now be mandatory for all eligible workers in industries covered by a vaccine mandate. This means under the mandate, workers will now be required to have a third dose within 1 month of becoming eligible. Currently, more than 266,000 people are eligible for a third dose, and so far, 89,927 people have received their third dose. Everyone is strongly urged to receive a third dose when eligible, even if they're not covered by this policy. I repeat, we're trying to boost the number of Western Australians who will get their third dose because the health advice confirms the extra dose is far more effective against the Omicron strain compared to 2 doses. Now, ATAGI, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, is set to make a decision on the timeframes in coming days. Currently, people are advised to get their third dose 5 months after they've received their second dose. Hopefully, ATAGI will reduce that timeframe. You need to start thinking about booking a third dose as soon as possible before Omicron comes into our
office that could change the way a lot of Americans work. A tech company in Wisconsin is offering to implant tiny microchips into its employees.
Not just no, but no. The chips could allow people to unlock office doors, make purchases. Rebecca, come on here.
So many questions about this, Robin and Michael. Good morning. We asked a lot of them. This is the first American company to ever try this. 1 week from today, many of the employees, including the CEO, will voluntarily have the microchips implanted into their bodies. And they're calling it, I'm not kidding here, a chips and salsa party. Oh. This morning, like a scene straight out of 007.
So you can keep an eye on me?
Employees at one Wisconsin tech company, 3 Square Market, willingly making that fantasy a reality, implanting their own bodies with microchips.